When I first started playing War and Order, I would have never guessed this. But angels are the most powerful troop in War and Order. They have more health than infantry and do more damage than mages, yet many people, including myself, did not focus on angels early in the game. Hey guys, this is Heretic, and in this video, I'm going to go over why angels are important, how to get them and keep them, and how to increase their statistics. This guide is meant for players in the early to mid game. And later on, I'll do a follow-up video where I focus more on the higher level angels, as well as the troop formations that I use angels in, and how many I put into my formations. And I'll go into a deep dive on the technology of where to get every single angel stat. But for now, I'm going to focus on what you need to do to actually get your angels and why they're important. And yep, with that, let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's get started with the basics. Angels are a troop type that you train in the Guardian Temple. The Guardian Temple first becomes available at level 15. The main resource that you'll use to train your angels is the Guardian Force. You use other resources as well, but the limiting resource will be your Guardian Force. You get Guardian Force every single time one of your non-angel troops that are tier 4 and above dies in a battle. Dies, that's losses, not wounded, your losses. You have a limit each day, and I'll show you mine here, that you can get of the Guardian Force. So I can get 41,000 here, and I've already gotten it for today. And you'll see that for me to train 280 angels, I actually need 15.6k Guardian Force. So that's quite a bit. So you can see I'm really limited on the number of angels that I can actually create each day. You also have a total maximum number of angels that you can have, and let me show you that. So you go back here to details. So right now I can have 50k plus 5, 55k total angels in my army. Not in a march, but that's the limit that I can actually have, and I haven't reached that yet. I haven't reached that yet because, like I said earlier, I did not focus on angels from the very beginning. Once you reach castle level 15 and once you have tier 4 troops, you need to be getting your daily Guardian Force limit every single day. It's one of the things you do every day, like you do your ruins, you do your infinite wars. You also need to send out troops to die in glory and to give you your Guardian Force. Other people in your alliance and in your realm may call it angel juice, angel dust. There's a lot of other terms for Guardian Force, but the official term is Guardian Force. So that's what I'm going to use here. So what limits the amount of Guardian Forces you can get in a day and the total amount of angels, all of that is something that you can actually research in the college. You can also get, you can raise your angel limit by an artifact, the Angel Sword artifact, actually. Also, if you have the Phoenix Beast, you can raise your Guardian Force conversion and your daily collection limit as well. Also, and I'll show you here those as we go through real quick. We'll come back to them also. But here you can see. All right. And also in your emblems, you have the Guardian emblem here that will give you, increased Guardian limit, and the Guardian conversion also gets up. So the Guardian conversion, that's the ratio of your troops that die to the amount of angels you get from them. So the higher that Guardian conversion percentage, the more angels you're going to get the more Guardian Force you're going to get for the amount of troops that you actually send out to die. So why are angels so important? Why do I have to have this guide? Why do you care? Well, if you're already here, you probably already know that, angels are amazing. So let's do an actual comparison of what I mean. So let's look at here. If I go into my barracks and I'll go to create, let's say I'm going to create a tier 10 infantry, and let's take a look at the stats here. So the HP is 1617. Now if I go over and I look at the same thing on an angel, look at that HP, 2973. That's huge. I mean, that's crazy. They're a lot stronger, they have a lot more health than your infantry of the same level. And then, 2973, if I look at, infantry even higher than 10, if I go to 11, still blows it away. If I go to 12, it's getting closer, but it still blows it away. I have to go all the way up to tier 13 before I have infantry that's at the same level or higher than my tier 10 angel. All right, what about on offense? So let's do the same thing. So the troop that's going to give you the most attack is not your archer. It's actually going to be your mage. So your mage has 140 attack, right? So, I'm sorry, that's tier 8. Let's go to tier 10. It has 196 attack. So if I go and I look again at my Guardian, the attack is 280. That's not even close. I mean, angels are a lot stronger, do a lot more damage than your mages. And then the same thing, if you look at your mages, I mean, you're going to have to go to tier 12 before you get up in that same neighborhood. You're still a little bit below at tier 12 mage than a tier 10 angel. Isn't that crazy? This huge increase in attack, further emphasizes that angels are what you should be focusing on from the very beginning. That's not to say that your infantry is not going to be important. That's not to say that your backline is not going to be important, because it is super important, because you can't just train unlimited amounts of angels. There's a limit you can train every day, and they are more important than gems or anything else that you have in War and Order. They are super important and can mean the difference between winning and losing. So how do you get them? Getting angels now it's the complicated part. To get them, you need troops to die, but how many? Really, this depends on your conversion rate, your Guardian conversion stat. So, and the tier level that you're actually sending out. Only tier 4 and above troops will actually give you Guardian Force. So remember that. Your goal every day is to reach that limit, right, of Guardian Force that you can get. So the thing that you're going to have to do is look at your highest tier troop, send one out to die and see how many Guardian Force you get from that. I'm not saying you're going to want to send out your good troops, because you're not. What I typically do is I'll send out my T9 or my T7s out to die. And, I'm sending out, because I have a 41,000 limit right now of Guardian Force that I can get in a day, I'm sending out around 6,000 troops, 6,500 as a mix. And not all of those die, right? Some of those are converted over to wounded and I can heal them. But the ones that die, is around 4,000 or 5,000 at the most. And that will get me my 41,000. But what you want to do is, and I need to make sure that I'm always doing that, because my Guardian conversion rate is actually going up, because it's still relatively early in the, in the life of this realm here. And I'm still improving stats every day. What you want to do is is send out just enough to die and not one troop more to get your daily limit. All right. So you're going to have to play around with the number and the tier of troops that you send as your conversion, percentage kind of goes up and your daily limit increases as well. All right. So once you get up high enough, you may want to dedicate a barracks or possibly even two to creating, just troops that you're going to send out on a daily basis to die. They're really that important where you would want to do something like that. You definitely don't want to sacrifice your best troops, but at the same time, you need to be building troops that you can sacrifice to get your angels. So, what I'll do is I'll send out that 6,500, and because I'm in a kind of a war realm where we're fighting against another alliance on a daily basis, what I'll do is I'll send out sometimes even multiple attacks of smaller amounts of troops until I get to my limit. I'll use a castle decoration, a skin with the march skin is the important part of this, to hide so they can't see how many troops I'm sending out, and I'll usually, not very easily. So I'll do that just to keep them on their toes. But if you don't want to do that, there's other things you can do. You could actually, find a tile and have a friend. Let's say you're shielded and you have a tile and you want to send to this one right here to gather. You could have a friend actually send after you, send right before you, that arrives right before you, and send out just enough to get your conversion, and they send out maybe a full march and you die on it. That's cool. None of their troops are really going to die because they're going to send out so many of them, a real march, and you're just going to send out, 4,000 or 5,000 troops. Everybody should be good and no one's shields drop. So that's one way you can do it. Another thing, instead of, attacking your enemy, you may not want to share your stats with them all the time, especially if you're upgrading and you're competing with them as far as your technology. So what you may want to do, and I've seen this done in other places, and we actually do this as well, is we'll have an alt or someone in the Farm Alliance, maybe someone that we use as a depot that has a lot of troops, and we'll send just against that and then just immediately have them heal their troops. That's another way you can do it. So now let's get back to Guardian conversion. I mentioned this emblem here is a way that you can actually increase this. So you don't have to send out as many. So the goal here is you increase that Guardian conversion percentage so you don't have to lose so many troops to reach your limit. So, we have this emblem here, and, I'm at a low level, and I'm getting 3% here just from that. Also, if I go over to my college, and this is where you're going to get the most, you're going to go over to Guardian Force. You're going to get, from the first level, you're going to get 15. And from the last level, you get 30. So there's 45% Guardian Force just from your college. So you really need to do that. Again, you can also get it from your Phoenix skill here, your Rebirth skill. You can get, I'm getting another 5.6%. So this actually works out better than the emblem. And I'm about to upgrade this again soon. And you also, from that, you also get some very useful skills. And I'll go over a lot of the attack skill, where to get that, and HP and defense and all of those other, tech stats in another video. But you do also get those here. All right. So now you have the angels. So here's the important thing here, because I see people lose them all the time because they're not playing smart. So you want to do everything you can to not lose them, especially early in the game. This means don't send them on a speed attack or a timed attack. If you're out killing other people's farms, or you're not using an SOS attack, really you want to steer clear of using your angels, especially early on. I use them on, my SOS. I use them in the Star Ruins. I use them in events where I don't lose troops, like Fortress Wars, Battle Frenzy, etc. And eventually, you want to, because you want to gather up enough of them, especially later on, where they're actually comprising a large part of your marches. One smart thing that we like to do, and we tell people, is when you log off, when you're already sending troops over to the Alliance fortress, or you're hiding them otherwise in a safe place, remember, right, you want to send your angels with the other march that you're going to send over to the Alliance fortress. You want to make sure that you can hide them when you're away. You don't want there to be any chance that they're actually going to die. So, I would go over to Alliance Buildings, Alliance Hall. I would click the location of the fortress. You can see other people kind of doing this right now too. I would want to send reinforcements. And in here, you want to remember, you want to keep everything above your hospital cap. You want to hide them when you're away. So you want to send all of your angels, right? But then you want to send all the lower level troops. You want to keep up to your hospital capacity in your castle. You want to keep your best troops other than your angel. That way you can do the most damage to the people who are actually attacking you. So I think this is a pretty good intro to angels. And I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. In the next video, I'm going to actually, like I said, I'm going to go into details of how to increase your attack, your damage, your health, your defense technology, where to go, which artifacts to use, and how to use them in your attacks and in your defenses. So that will be in the next video. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. It helps out a lot. And give me a like. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
I've been doing road on the go, get a bag and flip it, that's for sure. If it's show, that was never talk about nothing. Turn it down and go get you some money.